I'm Sonia if you're new here, or hi and welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about the Fodmap diet. Maybe you clicked on this because you're one of my normal subscribers and you were interested or wanted to see what fun recipes we're going to make or what is the Fodmap diet. Today we're going to talk all about it. Kind of all started out with recently I went to a dietitian so I can increase my protein because I'm starting to train for something. And I also, when they ran my blood test recently, noticed that my blood sugars are consistently low. And when me and her started talking about my stomach, she was like, or everything I eat, she's like, how often does your stomach hurt? And I was like, all the time. She's like, well, how long has it been happening? Since I was a toddler. And she looked in all my papers. She's like, wow, you've had big diagnosis with IBS, you've had reflux, you've had this. Why have you guys never tried this diet to see what's ailing you? And I was like, I don't know. So here we are. So let's get into it. Fodmaps are a group of carbohydrates that can be difficult for some of us to digest. And when they're eaten often or in large amounts, they can cause gas, bloating, constipation, diarrhea. They can become reflux, all of these things. Undigested sugars become food for our gut. They can also cause reflux, all kinds of things. So what does Fodmap stand for? The F is for fermentable, so substances that can be broken down by bacteria for your gut, causing you to produce intestinal gas, which hurts. Or O for triglycerides, and they are made of chains of sugars, and they can make our stomach hurt. They're things like in wheat, rye, onions, garlic, legumes, pulses, beans. I know these can really set my stomach on fire. And D is for disaccharides, substances made of two sugars. These things are like lactose. Think of milk, ice cream, all the fun creamy things. Those are lactose. So you can get lactose-free milk and ice cream nowadays. Thank goodness. And M is for monosaccharides. And this is a little bit more complicated. These things are made out of one sugar, but we absorb the fructose and then, well, there's not enough glucose. So the high fructose containing foods that are low in glucose are things like apples and pears and watermelon, and our body may have problems with those. And last is for P. These are all of the sugar alcohols, all of these artificial sweeteners that end mostly in OL. So it's not all of the artificial sweeteners, just some of them. And you start the Fodmap diet. This is not forever. It is just for a short period of time to see which ones bother you the most. The idea is to eliminate these for at least 4 to 8 weeks and then try to put them back in your diet and really figure out which ones are your real food triggers. So this is a key. Here's a list of a lot of these. I'm going to put a link to some of these lists down in the comments. There's been down in the description. There's been a huge amount in the last few years of studies done on the Fodmap diet by Harvard, by big schools, big universities, and you can research it and look at their things, because if there wasn't a lot of research, your girl would not be giving up gluten for 8 weeks unless I was convinced that maybe I need to give this a try. So let's get in my full day of eating. Okay, I wake up normally about 5:30 in the morning, 5:20. So I wasn't presentable enough to be showing my face, but here is, in fact, my breakfast. On this day, I had a gluten-free bagel with 2 brown eggs, organic eggs on top, a glass of blackberry tea, some coffee, and I used a little bit of lactose-free milk for my creamer for my coffee. Okay, today we are eating lunch a little later because I had to stop at Costco and I'm doing like a walk run kind of thing. I did 6.5 miles today. So it took a little bit over an hour to get it done, and had to go to Costco, pick up my daughter, and now it's like 2:30. So it's a little bit later lunch. I normally would be eating earlier, but I am going to show you some of the snacks that I would eat, and I'll probably try to still fit them in, and this is not good. I wanted to let you know one more quick thing I'm thinking about. I am going to be testing out protein this month. So if you're on a protein quest like me, my dietitian wants me to find some that are lactose free, and still giving me quite a bit of protein because I need to supplement my diet. If you're interested, and I'm getting into a lot of taste testing and what I find out, and I'm gonna have to try quite a few because if you don't know, there's a lot of bad ones. Hopefully there's a lot of good ones so I can, you know, bring you back some good information. But if you're interested in it, let me know, and maybe I'll do a video of all of the protein powders that I've tried this month. Okay, let's get into lunch. It's gonna be easy, but super delicious. Okay, let's get into the salad. We're gonna start with a 50-50 mix, or just like if you have spring mix, anything like that would work. And then I also am going to be mixing it in with some baby arugula. I love the taste of arugula. It has like that spiciness to it. It's kind of fun. There's Tony peeping around. He just wanted to pop in and say hello. I think these two live in my kitchen. I think here comes Mr. Tex. He's coming over to see what I'm having for lunch, to see what he might be able to steal. Oh my gosh, he's just in here looking. I didn't even notice him until I started editing this video. So I wanted to talk about the chicken I'm going to be using, which is a rotisserie chicken. You can look online at Costco or maybe your local one to see what kind of brines they use. I think the one at Costco was fine, except I think it had one little thing and I can't remember. I know Whole Foods and some of the other ones have pretty easy brines that you can have. So we're going to do a little bit of raw slivered almonds. Most of the dietitians will allow you to have up to 2 tablespoons of them, but check with your dietitian if you're on the Fodmap diet. And I'm just going to toast these up real quick in my oven just for about 5 minutes, and I put it on about 350. Then I'm taking some strawberries and we are going to just chop them up. You can have strawberries in the Fodmap diet, so you can do as many or as little as you want depending on, you know, how many you wanted to add into your salad. If you haven't seen, we are actually having a kind of a strawberry chicken almond feta salad. It's gonna be really good. It's kind of similar a little bit. I think they have one like this at Chick-fil-A. I don't know. I don't usually eat it there. So I did want to tell you that I do weigh out how much I don't weigh out like my lettuce and my strawberries, but I am gonna be weighing out my chicken just because I actually want to make sure I get at least 4 ounces of chicken, if not 6 ounces in my lunch, because I want to make sure, like I said, I'm trying to increase my protein. I actually tore one of my Achilles a few years ago, and I've gotten back into running, and what happened is it just never as strong as the other side, so my other side has actually been taking the brunt. And so I'm back in physical therapy to try to make my calf, my Achilles on my weak side stronger, so that my strong side will not be taking the brunt of it anymore. In doing so, I'm doing some heavy training with a physical therapist and weights and all kinds of stuff. And so we want to make sure that I'm getting enough protein to build the kind of muscle that I want to build and that my blood sugars are not going down. So I just want to make sure that I am getting a certain amount of protein per day, and that will in fact most make everyone feel better. Right? If we have protein or lunch in the afternoon, we don't feel so tired. So there I did. I had 4 ounces of chicken in it. And then what I'm going to do is take a little bit of feta cheese, and you can have feta cheese. You can have certain cheeses. You can have a lot of the really hard cheese like Parmesan or things. Feta is one of the other ones that you can have. You just can't have an excess amount of it. So I'm going to take the feta cheese and go ahead and take it and just put a little bit, sorry about that, I didn't get my camera on it. I just took a little bit of the feta cheese and I did move it. I sprinkled it on top of our salad and just sprinkled it around. So as I was telling you, I am seeing a physical therapist because I want to get back into running and training more. So if you guys want to see a little bit of it, let me know and I can show you some of the things I'm starting, because I used to really race a lot in running and I'm trying to get back into it because it makes me happy. And so in doing that, I'm going to be doing more training and doing more healthy eating. And I'd like to share a lot of it on my channel. I thought maybe I'd also just show you what I used to train high schoolers for cross country and track and everything. So I know what I'm doing. So it would be fun to teach you guys what I'm doing. So here it is. Okay, one of the hardest things to find probably in your Fodmap diet is going to be your salad dressing. I'm lucky that one of my favorite salad dressing already fits it. It is gluten-free, it is lactose-free, it is vegan, has no high-fructose corn syrup. So this is what we're going to be using today. If you can't find it, but my US Foods, you could also just make your own balsamic vinaigrette. And I did just read it just has a drop of garlic, which is our no-no list. I think it's going to be fine. It's less than 2%. It's this very small amount. I've had it before and it hasn't really irritated my stomach. So, but if not, I would say make your own, which would be balsamic vinaigrette. Balsamic vinegar, olive oil. Whip them together. Maybe add a little salt and pepper and some sugar, because you can still have regular sugar. I don't know if you need the sugar, but just a little bit. And that would also make a great vinaigrette. If you can't find one. But there's a lot of great ones. There's a lot of vegan salad dressings at your local Trader Joe's too. And then we're gonna just take those nicely toasted almonds. I measured them out, you can see it on camera, and then just sprinkle them on top of my salad. And then I go ahead and measure out my salad dressing. You can do it on grams on your scale, but today I just did 2 tablespoons of our vinaigrette, and then I tossed it around and ate it, and it was delicious, y'all. You should try it. And then for a snack, sorry about the camera here, it's a little bit crazy, I should put my tripod. I did just 2 tablespoons of air pop popcorn. It's a great snack, it has some fiber in it, and it is allowed on your Fodmap diet, so I just popped it, and I actually used a little bit of that canola oil spray, because I didn't want to put butter or anything, because I'm not having it right now. And just put a little bit of spray, and then I just added just a little bit of salt on top, because I'm not really watching my salt. I actually have low blood pressure because I run a lot and swell a lot. And so I'm just putting just a drop of salt on top, and I had it with a Dr. Pepper. Okay guys, bedding down because I want to get my tripod. It's 5:05 and I'm getting going on dinner. Tonight my family's gonna be having like, the bowls are kind of like Chipotle bowls, but because I'm not eating beans or guac or sour cream, all the fun stuff, I'm gonna be making myself rice with chicken, jasmine rice with chicken. I'm gonna show you how to make it in your air fryer today, or you could also put it into your oven. I'm also gonna be making a side of zucchini. I'm gonna show you what I'm making for my kids today. There's not much different. We're kind of using some of the same components. I just was like, that's just teasing me, no guacamole without the onions and all the other stuff. Anyway, so that's what we're gonna do. Mine's still gonna be super great. And if you guys are loving this video, make sure you give this a thumbs up. Think about subscribing. I'd love to share some more of my, what am I eating right now. I'm probably gonna meal prep this next week on my Fodmap diet if you wanna see it. Yeah, okay, let's get started on this dinner because I am tired a little bit. It's starting to really me. Look, I don't know if you guys can see it. Can you see it? Where I am on my calories for the day? 1,022. It's just from exercise. I think for the day that would be, you guys have an Apple Watch? Apple Watches are fantastic. I know someone in my Apple Watch group on Facebook said it literally saved one of their parents' lives recently. If you have a heart attack, it can call like your emergency contacts, or if you fall or anything else. So it's, I mean, you can use it for what's in. I've done 2,162 calories. We still got at least another 5 hours to go today. So we'll see where we're going. Maybe we'll go for a walk to get some more energy. All right, let's get going on dinner. Y'all, I need to try filming more when I have more energy. I just have been so tired lately. We're gonna start with 2 cups of jasmine rice, and then we are going to be adding 4 cups of water, and then we're going to drizzle on just a drop of olive oil and just like a little dash of salt. If you guys don't have a rice maker, you should get one. They're very inexpensive. You can get them on Amazon, Costco, all kinds of places, Target, whatever. They make your rice so much better. It's so quick. You don't have to watch your rice while you're cooking or anything. I just think it's so much better. Anyways, so this night I just decided to make jasmine rice. You just turn it on, throw it onto the white rice. And now we're gonna get started on that zucchini. I think some of the hardest part about this diet was learning about what kind of vegetables I can eat and what kind of fruit I can eat. Especially, I would say there's more vegetables that I can't eat, which in general I kind of already knew a lot of them because those are the ones that obviously make my stomach hurt on a regular basis, but just kind of confirmed it, and we'll, you know, try to put them back in my diet and see if I'm right, which I'm thinking I am. There's certain ones I just know after I eat them, I'm like, oh my gosh, that really is hurting. So I'm making this easy on that night. You could do a lot of different things. I decided to just do salt and pepper, and I did them into like little circles. And this are trays for my air fryer. If you had a basket, you could do it that way. And then I did another one just like little I don't know, just little quartered ones because I thought if we had leftovers, maybe it would pack better for my husband's lunch. He takes lunch a lot. I just want to show you that I went ahead and put it into my air fryer and I turned it on. And I turned it to 350. And I'll let you know I only cook it for 10 minutes. 10 minutes. Do not overcook this or it's not going to taste great. I think a lot of people hate zucchini and I'll tell you why, because people overcook it. It's mushy and it's like, oh, I just can't stand it. So try it again. If you think you don't like it, try it again and cook it less. It's just like the same thing with the zoodles, you know, that they use the zucchini. I think everybody overcooks that too. That's why people are like, oh, this is disgusting. If you try to make it yourself and you just barely cook it, is like a million times better. Okay, so now we're gonna get going on our chicken, and I was just trying to cut them up and get all the fat off of my chicken, and then I was just cutting them down the middle because I decided to cook them in the air fryer that day. If you wanted to, you could have just grilled this chicken, or if you have flat top, whatever you wanted. I kept it pretty easy for this because I knew that I was gonna use some of them for my kids and some of them for us, and I also, right now, I'm not trying to eat any like garlic or onions or anything else. So I just wanted to keep it simple. So then I separate it out. I actually use like a fajita spice for my kids. So if you guys want to do that on yours, I just can't have all the stuff that's added into it right now. So I kept mine fairly easy. I actually went and cleaned that out because I didn't want to get any of that stuff on mine. And I went out to my garden and got some time. Even though it's still actually been really cold here, we've actually recently had some days of snow. My herbs, y'all, made it through the entire winter. I cannot wait to start gardening again. I almost wanted just to do like more herbs. Like I haven't replanted them, nothing. They're like the strawberries in my front yard. They're just like amazing. Which again, I'll do another garden video coming up. I did one last year and it's actually really picked up this last year on YouTube. So I guess there's a lot of people that like the gardening video and we will keep going with it again this year and try to change it up a little. I might actually do some soil testing, which I'll show you. Because I think that I might need to add some additives into my soil, I'm not sure. So we're gonna do salt, pepper. I did some thyme. I just wanted to keep it easy. And that is just a little bit of olive oil. I buy my own little spray bottles and add a light olive oil to it. It's not like a really strong one. I know some olive oils can be like overpowering and then people are like, well, I don't want to eat, you know, olive oil. But olive oil is better for our hearts and I'm always trying to be health conscious and think about my heart. And then I just threw them also into my air fryer. I put it on 400. I would say I think they took probably about 15 minutes in the air fryer. Just keep an eye on yours and just temp your chicken until it's done. And here's what it looks like. Okay, well, we're wrapped up here. Here's how it all plated out. I'm sure you saw it in my thumbnail. I have my zucchini, my rice, my chicken, and my kids have their bowls. It turned out great. Well, this was fun. I hope it gave you guys some good ideas and you guys got a little bit of learning on it. Make sure you give this video a big thumbs up and look forward to making some new videos coming up. I know a lot of people have been watching my healthy meal prep on the Blackstone. As soon as it's warmer, I plan on making a second one. I know the Tulip Festival is coming, so on a totally different thing we're gonna do. We'll definitely go into Tulip Festival this year because I missed it last year. So I hope everybody is doing great and having a great week, and I will see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.